And as I previously stated, Shuichi Saihara is our next character, the ultimate detective. First thoughts about him is that he's precious and I really don't want him to die. I like him as the companion so far. I don't know, he's very friendly and simple and he keeps to himself, but he seems kind. His overall design, it's very simple. I don't know, not much to say about that. I like his hat though, I think it's cool. I find it interesting how defensive he got when Miu insulted his hat, so I'm wondering if someone gave it to him as a gift. That'll be interesting to find out, so I'm waiting to find out more backstory on him. Though I will admit, I'm not entirely sure about his character. I don't know if they're trying to mislead us by having us be friendly with him right away. You know, he's sharing his secrets with Kaede, but I'm just gonna say I like him. As for comparing to previous characters, he reminds me of Naegi with his personality. He's very optimistic and he seems to be friendly towards people, but he also keeps to himself too, kind of like Kirigiri. So I guess if Maki is the love child of Togami and Kirigiri, I guess you could say Shuichi is the love child of Naegi and Kirigiri. No, I'm just kidding. Ships all around, people, ships all around. But my overall guess for him is that either he's going to be the first one to die or he's going to be a survivor. I don't think any in between. I have a high feeling survivor, so I'm going to stick with that, but I could see him being a first victim because of how close our character is getting with him, but we'll see what happens. Moving on, we have Kaito Momota, Ultimate Astronaut. First thoughts on him is that he's a big bluffer, but he means well. I mean, he keeps over-exaggerating like, oh, I'm gonna help everyone, but he's really a coward at heart, unfortunately. He's also a closet perv, I think, you know, with the whole, oh, Kaede, give me a hug, I'll comfort you type of thing. And, yeah, I definitely think that Tenko is right about him trying to, you know, get a hug for the alternate reasons, but I can't hate him for it. You know, he's just taking a chance, and he is defending her, so I think he's being friendly. And I like how Kaede sticks up for herself. She's just like, nah, thanks. For his design, I absolutely love his jacket. I love how it has a galaxy on the inside. I thought that was really neat and really cute. And to compare him to previous characters for the first game, I definitely get Leon vibes from him. He's just, you know, he's like very passionate about space and he's boastful and stuff, but you know, also his design kind of reminds me of him. And for the second game, his personality is a lot like Gundam. Like he's just over the top a bit, but I like him though. As for my guess, I think he's gonna have a fate like Mondo. He's gonna kill someone by accident. Because he's very brash. I mean, the way he went to attack Monokuma, he could have been killed by that Exial if it didn't step on Monokuma first. So, we'll see. But I definitely don't see him making it to the end, unfortunately. Moving along, we have Ryoma Hoshi, the ultimate tennis pro. And my first thoughts on him was that his voice does not match his body at all. But, you know, it's Danganronpa and they always have a different looking character. But the more that I hear his voice with his character, it really matches. So, you know, you do you, Ryoma. And just, you know, looking at his design, he's very short. He has a really neat hat. I like his hat. And you could see him being a tennis pro, so I think that kind of works. But it's interesting that they went with him being a little person, I guess I should say. And as for extra thoughts, it's interesting how he keeps talking about his prison time due to killing a mafia boss with an iron ball. And he keeps saying, like, that's right, I killed someone using my talent, which is ironic considering what type of game they're in now. And that was before they were told they were put into a killing game, but, you know. As for comparing him to previous characters, I mean, for the first game, I can compare him to Sho just because Sho is a freaking serial killer. He's not that, but he has killed someone in the past. And then for the second game, his design is similar to Teru, but he definitely is nothing like his personality. I kind of like his personality. He's an interesting person, a little bit mysterious. My guess for him, though, is that either he's going to be First Blood or he's going to be a survivor. Or just maybe an overall victim, but I don't see him being a killer, because is that if there's someone who has killed in the past, they typically don't kill someone. I mean, that's just the irony of the game, but who knows? They could break that tradition and he could be the first killer, so we'll see. I'd like to retract that because I just remember Pekko was a bodyguard who has killed people before, and she was a killer in the second game. So I think actually I'm going to change my final opinion to he's going to be the first killer. I think he's going to get the game started because he's like, what the hell, I've killed someone before, and if there's no penalties, you know what, I'll just do it. I hope it's not that, but I mean, you gotta get started somehow, right? And the next character I'll be talking about is Mystery Boy himself, Rantaro Amami, who has forgotten his ultimate talent. That's not mysterious at all. And of course, but you know, it's got to follow the formula. The first two games, there was at least one character who didn't know what their talent was. So, you know, it's a must for this game. Overall first thoughts is that he's very mysterious and he definitely seems to know more about what's going on than the others. But overall, I like him. I know people were comparing him to Kaito because he kind of looks like him. Like, a lot of things I've noticed about this game, it kind of feels like they've reused some of the character models from previous characters. But at the same time, I guess that could just be the stylistic choice. And to compare him to the characters, yeah, a lot of people compared him to Kaito in appearance. But as for like how he acts, his thought processing kind of reminds me of Togami in a way. But he doesn't seem to be a jerk. He's just very matter of fact. And I like how he was warning Kaede about her personality and like, you know, be careful because you don't want people turning on you. Considering his design, I like it. It's very casual. He has those piercings and jewelry, but it matches his personality, I think. And funny enough, my favorite quote from him is, "I promise you, I'm not a bad guy." And while that is like, you know, very suspicious thing for someone to say, I trust him. I don't know. For some reason, I trust his character. And for that reason, I'm going to believe he's a survivor. He's definitely going to make it near the end of the game because you got to reveal what his talent is. You can't just kill him off first thing and be like, oh, look, we don't know what his talent is. But that's what it is. Alright guys, I know this is a long list, but we're at the final 4 characters, so moving on, we've got Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist, and I can just say he is precious, and I do not want him to die. I love him. He reminds me of Tarzan, like I was saying that to myself first thing, and because with the way he talks, and he's a gentleman. You know, Gonta is a gentleman. And then I thought it was funny when he said he was raised by wolves, so I was like, okay, that explains it. So, protect Gonta at all costs. I would be sad if he dies. Because, you know, big buff teddy bear. And of course, to compare him to our other buff characters from the previous games, Sakura and Nirai. You know, I'm really sad that they both died. So I really don't want our buff character to die. I really want him to make it to the end. So for that, I'm going to say he's a survivor. Protect Gonta, 2007, wait, what, oh my god, 2018. I forgot what year we are in, help. Okay, but anyways, moving on. Our next character is the ultimate ultimate supreme leader, Kokichi Oma. And first thoughts on him is that he's very childish. I mean, Kaede described his personality very well. He's basically like a big child. And of course, the first time we see him, he's harassing Kibo. So he's another, well, okay, I don't dislike him as much as Miyu because he has a purpose of being the instigator of the group, but also I just don't like mean characters usually, but I don't know, I do kind of like him a little bit just because he does add drama, but and he's always like, yeah, I was lying, because he does own up to it. And just for the frickin', I woke up my poor boyfriend because I was reading his quote, and he said, "Do robots have dicks?" Just imagine waking up to that quote. But anyways, that's just the best quote. Freaking, he speaks what's on his mind. He's not afraid to say it. So, I promise you, I'm an adult. It just caught me off guard. I'll just put it there. But because he's a liar, of course, he reminds me of Celeste from the first game. And then his personality, in a way, reminds me of Saionji in the second game. I mean, even in his dislikes, he dislikes pig feet. And Saionji would, you know, insult people like that. So, as for what I think his fate will be, I don't see him as a killer. I can see him as either a victim or a survivor. So, I feel like he's going to be one of those two. If I have to pick one, I guess I'll go with victim. Yeah. And our next character will be Korekiyo Shinguji, the ultimate anthropologist, aka Kyo. I liked him at first when he was talking about his talent, but then as he started going on more and more, and he started saying how beautiful people are, then I was like, okay, I'm getting Komaeda vibes, and he is very creepy. Like, at first, I could have, like, said his design was just weird, but, like, ninja-like, but then when you add that creep factor to it, it's even more creepy, but kudos to him for having the zipper on the mouth, so he can actually keep the mask up, but still be able to eat without having to take it off. I mean, hey, yeah, there's always that question with people who wear masks, like, how do they eat? But that's how he eats. He just pulls the zipper aside, nom nom nom, puts it back. All right. But overall, even though he's weird, he's still an interesting character, so it'll be interesting to see how long he lasts in this game. To compare him in personality, kind of reminds me a little bit of Fukawa, just because he's not standoffish, but he's just like an oddball in the sense, I guess. He doesn't really fit in. And then for the second game, definitely gives me Komaeda vibes, just by the way he was saying how he's obsessed with the beauty of humans and like how they react to things. I mean, I know it goes with his talent, but, you know, it reminds me of how Komaeda was obsessed with hope with his classmates. So I feel like Mr. Kyo will be enjoying watching the killing game. But even though he'll enjoy watching, I don't see him as actually being a killer. I feel like he'll become a victim. But I don't think he's going to be the first to go. I think we're going to get some more history because he had talked about a sister. So he has some backstory. And last but not least, we have our ultimate My Life as a Teenage Robot K1B0, aka Kibo. My first thoughts on him is just, I don't know. I love him. I want to protect him. He seems cute and he's always being harassed. Robots have rights. You know, please don't discriminate against robots. No, but, and then also his design's really interesting because he's basically like a Robo Naegi. You know, forget Robo Nadai, here's Robo Naegi. Except now he's going to be called Kibo, which, you know, fun fact, if you don't already know, Kibo means hope in Japanese, which is another reference to, you know, Naegi really being super high, ultimate hope. But other than that, I don't know, I don't have any other thoughts about him. His character is interesting. I feel like he could be first blood. He could be the first to die, or he could be a survivor, or, you know, he could be a killer or victim. I have really no idea. I'm not quite sure what to make of his character. But all I know is that I like his character. So far, I hope he doesn't become evil or anything, or he isn't bad, but, you know, it's Danganronpa. We'll see what happens, right? And with him, this completes my very, very long list. So long that I decided to split this up into 2 parts. So, I mean, I technically have 3 parts, but I'm just going to make the prologue its own thing, and then I'm going to upload these later on as a 2-parter. You know, let me know down below your thoughts. Who was your favorite character out of the group? Please remember I haven't finished the game yet, so please no spoilers. Nothing past the prologue, please. So please don't tell me who dies, who you're sad about. But I will continue giving my thoughts on the series. These were probably the longest videos. The upcoming videos will talk about the chapter in general. And like my thoughts on the victim, how they were killed, and then the murderer. And what their execution was and stuff. So it'll be an adventure. And I hope you'll like to stick around and see how it goes. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. And thanks for watching.